guys, it's me, Lil Ninja, back in another video. Today we're doing What If Naruto Was Fused with Sasuke, Part 2, and I hope you like this video. I hope you like the other videos that have been posted this week, and I would really like if you watch those if you haven't already, and give me ideas, because sometimes you just run out of them, and I will eventually do them, because I just have to watch the anime. Just like I have to watch some other animes to get this. So, without further ado, I hope you like this video, and I will get into this greatly unscripted video that is this video. Without further ado, roll in the intro. It's Little Ninja time. So we start back off where we left off. Saruto, trying to battle Kakashi for the bells. Sakura, really mad that she can't do anything. Of course, Saruto would eventually start calling out Sakura so that she could help him. But of course, Sakura would be too scared, and eventually Saruto would get pushed back into the tree. Eventually poofing, with Kakashi noticing that it was a shadow clone. Saruto would eventually find Sakura and would ask her why didn't she help him. Saruto really was inside of a pickle there, because if the clone couldn't beat him and the clone was getting bodied, this would kind of mean that he probably would get bodied a little less, but he still probably would get bodied. Sakura could have helped that clone, but she didn't. She hesitated. Saruto would say that she could have helped him, and he was very, very mad. Saruto would begin to think of a plan that involves them working together, although Saruto has never seen a two-man team, although in these circumstances they probably will have to be. Saruto would ask Sakura for her help in this plan. Sakura, not wanting to make Saruto feel mad anymore, she would actually help. Saruto making this plan so that he could get under Kakashi, while Sakura would be a distraction. With the plan actually working, Kakashi being headhunter jutsu'd into the ground, with Saruto and Sakura taking the bells. Saruto would pass one of the bells to Sakura and would say they win. Kakashi would ask, but which one of them wins? Saruto would be confused since there's only one of them. Kakashi would be referring that they are two people that are fused. And Kakashi knows this for a fact since he watched it happen. Naruto forcefully putting the earring on Sasuke, just making it a little joke, while Sasuke was reluctant to not put the earring on himself. Of course, with this, Kakashi would think that they could undo the fusion, so that one of them would take the bell and the other one would leave. Saruto would state that these earrings permanently fuse them. They're one. Not Naruto, not Sasuke, Saruto. And don't call me any of those names. I am Saruto, the one and the only Saruto. That goes for you too, Sakura. Sakura would nod her head, while Kakashi would think, so they can't unfuse. Kakashi would poof, and they would realize it would be a shadow clone. Kakashi would appear behind them, and would say they both pass. With this, Saruto would put his fists up into the air, screaming he would become Hokage and the strongest ninja that ever lived. This would obviously be the Naruto side of him screaming through, because he is so excited that he actually became a ninja, and that Sakura actually likes him now. Of course, this would be kind of awkward since the other side of Saruto is stating that this is going to be so annoying with these two. Because basically, Saruto is a amalgamation of both Naruto and Sasuke. They aren't completely at sync, but they still see themselves as one, and they are one, but really, what I'm trying to say is there's basically three minds in one, a fusion of Naruto's and Sasuke's, and sometimes a part of them shines through, or the other part shines through. But most of the time, they're one, because they're not really in that sync since they use the Patara earrings instead of using regular fusion dance. With this, Saruto would treat Sakura and Kakashi to ramen because you all know Naruto's love for ramen will always shine through no matter what fusion. No matter what fusion. If he fused with Ino, if he fused with Sai, if he fused with Choji, well, if he fused with Choji, they would both like it anyway. But still, Saruto treats his team to ramen, and Kakashi would have to talk to Hiruzen about getting another teammate since they don't have one at this point. At this, Danzo would see a perfect moment for him to take advantage of this. With this, Danzo would enter Sai as a teammate, and Sai would be on their team. Of course, Saruto and Sakura really don't like Sai that much, but of course, they have their D-rank missions with Sai, and of course, they begin to notice that Sai isn't a regular person. They notice that Sai is kind of dangerous, and really doesn't like feeling emotions. Of course, Saruto would start making Sai basically a normal person as Naruto would inside of Shippuden. But with this, Saruto would have a much easier effect since Saruto has a good level of intelligence about what Danzo is doing because Naruto asked Hiruzen about it like a few years back. And Hiruzen is really is basically Naruto's grandfather. So yeah, Naruto would have been gotten told about what happened, and of course Saruto would have the memories of that. Saruto would doing missions with his team and would eventually get a C-rank mission to transport Tazuna to his bridge. You know, the bridge builder mission at that one time. Of course, Sai would have a sigh of relief as he could finally use his skills for something good, even though they're only on bandits. Of course, Sai noticed that he used one of his emotions, thinking that Naruto's finally breaking through to him. Of course, on the team would pack, and Tazuna would basically walk with them to his bridge. Of course, the Demon Wind brothers would get taken down by Saruto and Sai, with Sakura protecting Tazuna, as I see that's the only thing she could do at this point in time. With this, Saruto would think that he has to start training Sakura and have to get through that rough exterior of Sai to make Sai more human, basically. Of course, with this, Saruto and his team would keep going forward as Kakashi would sense that something is off as mist would come in. Saruto would sense something is off as well and would throw a kunai into a bush, with a white hair being in that bush. Saruto would realize a white bunny inside of the summer? That makes no sense. Saruto would think that something is very off. Why would there be a white bunny here? With this, Saruto would tell Kakashi about this and get berated by Sakura, but Sakura, realizing that it's also Sasuke in there, she would not know how to feel, as she would think that's something that Naruto would do. Saruto would keep going forward and would eventually tell everyone to duck, as a giant blade would be coming after all of them. With this, Zabuza would be on the hilt of the blade. Saruto would tell everyone to stand back, as his anger would have taken over. He would have thought of everything about his anger to try and pull the red chakra that he had before out. Of course, this working, as the emotions are linked to Kurama. Kurama would eventually give in, would decide that he could probably give this kid a little bit of his power. With this, Saruto would go into the first form of the tailed state cloak, and he would start slapping Zabuza around, but not for long, as this would be a weakened water clone, as the real Zabuza would come out and start slapping Saruto around, as this isn't that much of a more powerful Naruto, as it would be a regular Sasuke. As it would be a regular Zabuza. A water clone Zabuza. Saruto's strength right now inside of the cloak stake is a water clone Zabuza. So Saruto, I keep saying Naruto or Sasuke, but Saruto keeps getting slapped around by Zabuza. Eventually, Kakashi could not watch anymore, and he would start boxing with Zabuza, both of them trading blows like it's nothing. Kakashi would eventually get trapped inside the water prison, and Saruto would do the plan as to the original canon, but this time he would start helping Kakashi box with Zabuza, but this time using his Sharingan so that he can be as fast as Kakashi and faster than Zabuza. This would basically... Saruto has his 3 Tamori, while Kakashi is using his Sharingan as well to basically box Zabuza up, making sure that Zabuza has no room to breathe. Zabuza would eventually get knocked out and would get carried away by Haku, which Naruto would remark that they're too weak to do anything about it right now, since Haku has the more of an advantage, since he is fast and has the element of surprise. Yeah, that. Since he used to be an Anbu of the whatever village he's from. Saruto would tell Sakura that she needs to train, while Kakashi would decide that would be knocked out for the rest of the time being, with Saruto training Sakura and making her about as strong as Haku, while Saruto would train himself to be stronger than Zabuza. With this, Sakura is no longer useless. With this, Kakashi after 1 week would be awakened, and Zabuza would decide that it's time to kill the bridge builder. With Saruto not really talking to I forgot what the kid's name is, as he sees there's no point into speaking to someone that has no hope, seeing Inari as a lost cause, not even bothering to try and change his mind. Saruto, with Sakura and Kakashi, Sakura, Kakashi, and Sai would protect, I forgot what his name, Tazuna, and would encounter Zabuza and Haku. Sakura and Sai taking care of Haku, while Saruto takes care of Zabuza. Zabuza actually having more of a fight and is actually losing to Saruto, as Saruto is basically making Zabuza be bashed around like it's nothing. Saruto is just boxing with Zabuza, and Zabuza can basically do nothing about it. Zabuza would eventually get taken down. Haku would get taken down by a Chidori from Kakashi after. With this, Gado's men would eventually come, and Naruto would make 100 clones and basically end everyone that is a part of Gado's men. And unlike in canon, the bridge would be named Saruto. So this great Saruto bridge, as Saruto would be the one that, saved the day, basically. Saruto and his team would go back to the village and would find out about the tuning exams. With this, Saruto would be ready for the tuning exams, not really meeting Konohamaru. So Konohamaru doesn't even know Saruto, and Saruto knows Konohamaru, but Konohamaru does not know Saruto. Saruto would eventually find Konohamaru, and he would start talking to Konohamaru as Konohamaru was picked up by a sand ninja. With this, Saruto would be behind the sand ninja instantly, having a kunai to the sand ninja's neck, telling the sand ninja to put Konohamaru down. Konohamaru would run away, and Saruto would teleport to Kakashi, as Saruto knows about the tuning exams. With Sai deciding not to participate, as he's already higher than a tuning level, because he doesn't feel the need to prove himself, as he is a root ninja. Saruto and Sakura, basically being 3 people, would decide to actually go into the tuning exams by themselves, since Saruto is technically 2 people, and that's basically a full-man team. Saruto would basically be Naruto and Sasuke's opinion to go. So that's what they would do, and Lee would not go up to them, seeing as Saruto is fusing. Lee does not know who Saruto is at all. Until Neji would tell him about how that guy had both Sasuke's and Naruto's power. Lee deciding to confront Saruto, asking who are they. And Saruto would explain that he is a fusion of Naruto and Sasuke, while they both made him, but he is his own person. He is more powerful than Sasuke and Naruto combined, seeing as he is them. Saruto saying this, being pretty confident that Lee cannot beat him, as they have the strength of Naruto with the wits of Sasuke multiplied by freaking 10. That's how they freaking beat Zabuza. So, yeah. Lee is not winning this time around. He would proceeded to get, not body per se, but pretty much they boxed, and Saruto came up on top. Didn't bash Lee into the ground, but pretty much won is what I'm saying. Saruto would tell Lee next time to give him more of a challenge, and Saruto and Sakura would go into the basically testing area. Naruto and Sakura would get berated by Ino, stating that Sakura doesn't know where Sasuke is. Saruto would try to speak, but then Ino would hush him up, stating that he's probably just another ninja because Naruto failed the other test that they had. Saruto would try to speak again, but Ino would just keep shutting him up. Saruto using his Sharingan and telling her to shut up. Ino was surprised, thinking that Sasuke is the only Uchiha that is alive. How does this guy have Uchiha eyes? Saruto would state that he is Saruto, a fusion of Naruto and Sasuke, stating that he is both, but he's also himself at the same time. With this, Ino would try to get close to Saruto, but Saruto just thinking, nah, she's a stalker, just like Sakura and Hinata. Hinata hearing this, not knowing what to think, as she likes Naruto, not Saruto, not Sasuke, just Naruto. So she would back off from Saruto. Why is my throat like this? Well, this is where I'm going to leave it off today, guys. I hope you liked the video, and I hope that you watch my other videos and the video that comes out tomorrow. Without further ado, Little Ninja out.